Today is October 5th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today on the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through Chapter 6, Into Action. We'll be reading page 83. Out of the 12 and 12, we're going to continue Step 12 and read page 108. And of course, we'll read today's 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, my friends, hope you all are doing well this morning. Once again, we've been given a brand new set of 24 hours. And that's always a good thing. There's always an opportunity to change and to show up best for those we love the most. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. All right, if you recall from yesterday's reading out of the Big Book, we talked about the alcoholic being like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others. And today we're going to talk about the restitution and reconstruction ahead. Page 83. Yes, there is a long period of reconstruction ahead. We must take the lead. A remorseful mumbling that we're sorry won't fill the bill at all. We ought to sit down with the family and frankly analyze the past as we now see it, being very careful not to criticize them. Their defects may be glaring, but the chances are that our own actions are partly responsible. So we clean house with the family, asking each morning in meditation that our Creator show us the way of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. The spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. There may be some wrongs that we can never fully right. We don't worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could. Some people cannot be seen. We send them an honest letter. There may be a valid reason for postponement in some cases, but we don't delay if it can be avoided. We should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being servile or scraping. As God's people, we stand on our feet. We don't crawl before anyone. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. And yesterday we started doing a recap of all the steps, so we're going to continue that thought on page 108. We knew we would have to quit the deadly business of living alone with our conflicts, and in honesty confide these things to God and another human being. At Step 6, many of us balked, for the practical reason that we did not wish to have all our defects of character removed, because we still loved some of them too much. Yet we knew we had to make a settlement with the fundamental principle of Step 6. So we decided that while we still had some flaws of character that we could not yet relinquish, we ought nevertheless to quit our stubborn, rebellious hanging on to them. We said to ourselves, this I cannot do today perhaps, but I can stop crying out no, never. Then in Step 7, we humbly asked God to remove our shortcomings such as He could or would under the conditions of the day that we asked. In Step 8, we continued our house cleaning, for we saw that we were not only in conflict with ourselves, but also with people and situations in the world in which we lived. We had to begin to make our peace, and so we listed the people that we had harmed and became willing to set things right. We followed this up in Step 9 by making direct amends to those concerned, except when it would injure them or other people. At Step 10, we had begun to get a basis for daily living, and we keenly realized that we would need to continue taking personal inventory, and that when we were in the wrong, we ought to admit it promptly. In step 11, we saw that if a higher power had restored us to sanity and enabled us to live with some peace of mind in a sorely troubled world, then such a higher power was worth knowing better, by as direct contact as possible. The persistent use of meditation and prayer, we found, did open the channel, so that where there had been a trickle, there was now a river, which led to sure power and safe guidance from God as we were increasingly better able to understand Him. "24 hours a day, October 5th. AA Thought for the Day. Do I have any hard feelings about other group members or for any other AA group? Am I critical of a way a group member thinks or acts? Do I feel that another group is operating in the wrong way, and do I broadcast it? Or do I realize that all AA members, no matter what their limitations, have something to offer, some good, however little, that they can do for AA in spite of their handicaps? Do I believe that there is a place for all kinds of groups in AA, provided that they are following the AA traditions, and that they can be effective, even if I do not agree with their procedure? Am I tolerant of people and groups? Meditation for the day. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. All your movements, your goings and comings can be guided by the unseen Spirit. Every visit to help another, every unselfish effort to assist, can be blessed by that unseen Spirit. There can be a blessing on all that you do, on every interview with one who is suffering. Every meeting of a need may not be a chance meeting, but it may have been planned by the unseen Spirit. Led by the Spirit of the Lord, you can be tolerant, sympathetic, and understanding of others, and so accomplish much. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may be led by the Spirit of God. I pray that the Lord will preserve my goings and my comings. Daily Reflection, October 5th. Yesterday's baggage. For the wise have always known that no one can make much of his life until self-searching becomes a regular habit, until he is able to admit and accept what he finds, and until he patiently and persistently tries to correct what is wrong. 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, page 88. I have more than enough to handle today, without dragging along yesterday's baggage too. I must balance today's books, if I am able to have a chance tomorrow. So I ask myself if I have erred, and how that I can avoid repeating that particular behavior. Did I hurt anyone? Did I help anyone? And why? Some of today is bound to spill over into tomorrow, but most of it need not if I make an honest, daily inventory. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. First of all, I just love the big book reading here. The spiritual life is not a theory. And then in italics, and we've talked about that many times, what that signifies in the big book. We have to live it. It says right here, we should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. Now, this isn't an easy one to accept sometimes, but trying to work the program one day at a time, over a series of several 24 hours, trying to be the best people we can be. People will see over time that maybe we're really sorry for hurting them, and that we're doing everything in our power to make sure that whatever we did, whatever wreckage we caused from our tornado of alcoholism, doesn't happen again. The reconstruction period might take a little while, but if we keep living it, as the big book says here, they will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. But anyways, my friends, that's enough out of me. I've rambled on enough. I hope you all have a great day today. And please know I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, or any other sect. I am just a drunk, grateful, recovering alcoholic. If you want to share your experience, strength, and hope, our email is bigbookdaily@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you and share your thoughts on the show if you like. So with that, if we're given another set of 24 hours, my friends, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.